Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm a Vinyasa Flow Yoga teacher, and today I'm going to talk you through the basics of Sun Salutation A. We're going to work from Tadasana or mountain pose, standing at the front of our mat, through a lunge and coming to finish in a downward dog. This is approximately half of Sun Salutation A, and my future videos will start to talk about the second half, and eventually we'll put it all together. So in a Vinyasa class, this is pretty much what you're going to be doing at the beginning of every single class you ever go to. Sun Salutation A is a really solid sequence for you to get used to and know before you go into an open level class. So it starts with Tadasana or mountain pose. This is when you're standing at the front of your mat, you take your big toes together to touch, your heels together, then draw in through the belly, draw your belly button towards your spine as you rock your hip points up a little bit towards the ribs, tucking the tailbone slightly. Core is super turned on, and then you roll your shoulders back and down, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. Final thing, which is really important to remember, is a lot of people tend to collapse to the inner arches of the feet or roll out onto the outer edge. So lift up all 10 toes off of the mat, feel how the inner arches of the feet engage and their kneecaps lift. And trying to keep this engagement through the arches of the feet and through your, the kneecaps lifting. Slowly fan the toes back down to the floor. And at the beginning of a Vinyasa practice, we always tend to set an intention. So I'd just like you to take your hands in prayer, close your eyes, and just set your intention for today's practice. This can be something for you, maybe something you're working on at the moment, or you can dedicate your practice to anything you wish. Choosing something, say it over 3 times in your head. And then when you've set your intention, gently open your eyes. And you take a little bow and a smile, and we'll start our practice. So again, standing in Tadasana, mountain pose, toes together, heels together, belly draws in, hip points tilt up, shoulders roll back and down, crown of the head reaches up towards the sky, lift up the toes, engage the arches of the feet, and then fan the toes back down to the floor. So we're going to take our first movement, which is coming from standing through to a forward fold. So on an inhale, we're going to take the hands up towards the sky, draw the belly in, then look up towards the hands. On an exhale, you're going to take your hands through prayer, through the heart center, draw in through the belly, keeping the spine really long. Make sure you hinge at the hips rather than rounding through the back. Keep leading with the chest, and then take the hands down onto your mat. If you can't quite reach the floor, don't worry about it. Do just come onto the fingertips. Alternatively, you can take your hands onto your shins or onto your thighs. From here, we're then going to take an inhale, look up, lengthen through the spine. In this position, you want to imagine that the tummy is drawing in and you've almost got a slight arch in the low back. You won't actually be arching the low back, but that is the feeling. Sitting bones are lifting up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, you're going to fold again, taking your tummy towards your thighs, nose towards your knees. And then on an inhale, we're going to come all the way back up, sweep the hands up towards the sky. And exhale, take hands back to heart center. So we'll just go through that one more time. So on the inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky, look towards the ceiling, let the palms touch. Exhale, fold forwards, you draw the belly in, again spine is long, chest is leading, hinge at the hips. Come all the way down, take your hands onto the mat, or fingertips or hands to thighs. Then inhale, come up, lengthen through the spine, look forwards. Exhale as you fold, take the tummy towards the thighs, nose towards the knees. And then inhale, come all the way back up again, reach the hands up towards the sky, look to the hands. And then exhale, take hands to heart center. So now we're going to move on from Tadasana mountain pose through a little bit more of the Sun Salutation. So we're going to work into a lunge and then back to downward facing dog. So to do this, we're going to start in exactly the same way. Tadasana, mountain pose, toes together, heels together, belly is in, hip points up, shoulders roll back and down. Hands in prayer. Then inhale, sweep the arms wide, look up towards the sky, let the hands touch. Exhale, fold forwards, draw in through the belly, keep the spine long, hinging at the hips. Take the hands down towards the mat. If they don't touch again, hands come onto the fingertips, or hands to shins, hands to thighs. Then from here, you're going to exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend the knees, take the hands flat, step your right foot back into a lunge position. So in your lunge, you want to make sure your knee is over your ankle. You're pressing into your back heel, drawing in through the belly, shoulders move back. Then on an inhale, we're going to come up to the fingertips, look forward, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take your palms flat, step the left foot back to downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, there are a number of ways that you can come into this, depending on how tight or how loose the hamstrings are, shoulders, and a number of other things. So for me, my heels are on the floor, but for you, your heels might be up here, and that's absolutely fine. If you do find that when you're in this position, you're kind of rounding through the back, then bend the knees and allow the sitting bones to lift towards the sky, drawing in through the belly, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. If the heels can reach a little bit further down to the floor, you want to draw in through the belly again, lift the sitting bones and press them back towards the back of the room at the same time. Press your heels towards the floor, spread through the fingers, nice even weight between all the pads of your fingers. And then breathing here, perhaps coming back to your Ujjayi breathing that we've covered in another video. See if you can breathe here for 5 long deep breaths. And when you've done your 5 breaths, then just drop your knees to the floor, untuck your toes, hit the big toes together to touch, sit back on the heels, and take a child's pose to finish. So that concludes our Sun Salutation A, half of. Please do let me know if you have any questions by commenting below, or if you'd like some more information, you can subscribe to the channel above. Thanks, bye bye.